Now in our first example where we built an elevation, we started out with an Empire Kingston top treatment. Then we filled it with fabric, ungrouped it, and added an additional swag and jabot. And notice that all areas of the top treatment are filled with that fabric print. That includes the trim and the lining. And you can easily add contrast color to your designs. Now we have tutorials on our website that show you in detail how to add contrast color. So I do encourage you to look at those tutorials on the website, but we will show you a quick example here. Now there are two different methods for adding contrast to your designs. And the first one is the Ungroup method, which I'm going to show on the top. If I highlight my design, I can ungroup it. And there you can see all the different components to that design. You can see the long cascade on the left and the shorter cascade on the right. You can see the swag sections. There's a cornice board in the back, and there's that tie or tassel in the middle. Now I do want to fill some of those components with fabric. Not all of them, just some of them. Now remember, every time you ungroup, what do you want to do next? You want to do the click away so that nothing is highlighted. So after you ungroup, just click anywhere on the blank canvas so that nothing is highlighted. Now I can start filling the components that I want with fabric or color. In this example, I want to fill the two cascades and the two swags with fabric. So I can come in and I will highlight the cascade. Now, when you're highlighting a component, it's always best to try and click where it's kind of plain. You see it's plain right here. We don't have any of the detailed fold or gathered lines. So click there, and you can highlight multiple objects. Remember, keep your finger depressed on the Shift key, and I'll highlight right here. There, I've got both of them highlighted. Now I'll come in and I'll grab the swag, and I'm going to click right here, and I'll click right here. There, I've grabbed all four objects with my finger depressed on the Shift key. And you can release your Shift key now. Now I'm going to open up my custom swatch library. These are the swatches that I've added myself. And this is the one that I want to add. I can double click here, or I can click on the apply button, but I'll just double click. There. I'll close my swatch library. Alright, now the only other thing I want to do is I want to color that cornice board in the back and the tassel. So do the click away, click on the blank canvas so that nothing is highlighted. Then I'm going to highlight the cornice board in the back, and I will highlight my tassel. I'm going to keep my finger depressed on the Shift key and grab that tassel. There, they're both highlighted. Now I'm going to fill it with the green, the plain green. So I'm going to click on the color button here in my properties window, and then I will click on the eyedropper because I want to pick up the green in the fabric. There. And when done, you can always regroup your design. Just lasso your components and then group. So that was an easy example of adding contrast to your designs. There's another method using the second arrow, and it's a method that I tend to prefer. I will use both methods, but I think the second arrow method is quite flexible. Using the second arrow method, you don't have to ungroup your design. It really is quite a powerful tool. I like to draw an object on the canvas that I use sort of as my own palette. So I'm just going to click on the square here and draw a little square. Now I'm going to go into my custom swatch library, and I want to use this fabric here at the bottom. So let me just scroll over a little bit there so I can see my square. And I'm going to fill it with that fabric. I generally advise that if you're going to use multiple colors and fabrics in a design, that you do the trim first. So in this example, I'm going to highlight the whole window treatment. It's one object. I have not ungrouped it. And in this case, I'm going to fill it with this coral color. So I'll click on my eyedropper here, and I will touch the coral. There. Now what I want to do is I want to fill the swag sections here with the fabric. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the second arrow. Right up here, I'm going to click this middle arrow. Now every time you switch arrows, you do the click away. It's sort of like every time you ungroup, you do the click away. Well, every time you switch arrows, do the click away so that nothing is highlighted. Then you can come in, and I'm going to click here right in the middle of the swag. There, I've grabbed that section. I've got my finger depressed on the shift key so I can grab the other swag. Here, I'll click right here. There, I've got both of them selected, and now I'm going to apply the fabric. So I'll double click here. There, that looks great. And in this particular example, I might want to fill this piece here with the fabric too. So let me highlight it, and I'll double click. There, that looks really nice. So I was able to fill the bottom design with contrast using the second arrow. I never had to ungroup. Now, when you want to go back to your normal designing, make sure to click on the first arrow here. There. So you have two methods for adding detail color. One is the ungroup method, and one is using the second arrow. And just remember, every time you ungroup, do the click away. Every time you change arrows, do the click away. And if you do change to the second arrow, when you're done doing that detail fill, go back to the first arrow. That's your default design mode. And remember, we have more details on adding contrast, color, and fabric on our website. So make sure to view those tutorials on our website. And you're going to find that with the second arrow method, you have full control over your designs. You are not limited to pre-programmed areas of the design to color. You have full control. So make sure to look at those detailed tutorials on our website.